Hi friends, today let us learn about Dravidian movement. Bishop Robert Caldwell was a missionary and a linguist, and he was a European scholar also who did South Indian grammar studies in South India. He was the one who proposed the term Dravidian to separate the languages spoken in India from other Sanskrit affiliated languages. In the word Dravidian, Dravi denotes south, and the non-Brahmins are classified as Dravidians, who are the people who spoke Tamil, which was based on the culture and civilization. And the Brahmins were the people Aryans, people of Aryans, and they were mostly people of North India, and they spoke Sanskrit. Political ideology of Tamil Nadu. British mainly developed three cities, namely Mumbai, Calcutta and Madras. Madras Presidency of South India came into existence due to the administrative and political needs of the British. So, based on education and employment opportunities, only 3% of the total population of Madras had access to it, and remaining 97% of people were helpless. So, there happened a need for a party, and the Dravidian movement started. Madras Presidency was formed in 1801 AD. It comprised of present state of Andhra, Malabar region of Kerala, southern Karnataka and southernmost part of Odisha, along with Union Territory of Lakshadweep. You can also see that in the image given in the slide. Madras Presidency's politics in the early part of 20th century was also dominated by the Brahmin and non-Brahmin conflicts. Some scholars and political thinkers believed that understanding the conflicts between these Brahmin and non-Brahmins is necessary to understand the South Indian politics and society. Okay, how did this Dravidian movement started? First, it was started as a Madras Presidency. It was started in Madras Presidency by a group of non-Brahmins. Their main aim was to protect and to promote the Tamil identity, culture, social, political and economic interest of non-Brahmins, because a lot of things were only based on Brahmins, and non-Brahmins were left out. So it was mainly was based on non-Brahmins. The deciphering of Brahmin script in 1837 by James Prinsep and researchers on South Indian history came to establish that Indian culture was not homogeneous. Some scholars like Ellis in 1816 and Caldwell in 1856, they kept some of the research, and James Prinsep was the one who said that Indian culture is not homogeneous. There were two factors for Dravidian movement, and they were Brahmins. They were claiming the overall superiority over non-Brahmins, and Brahmins were monopolizing education and employment opportunities, transformed the Dravidian identity into non-Brahmin identity also. There were some Dravidian movements. The next important thing is Dravidian movement through associations. In 1852, Gangalu Lakshmi Naresh, he was the one who expressed his grievance and seceded from British Indian Association, and he also started his own organization named Madras Native Association. And you have heard about my Minto Morley reforms and Montague Chelmsford reforms, right? They were asking about for the reservation for Muslims. So the non-Muslims of this period also started to ask for the reservation of lands. Like Sir Alexander Gordon Cardew, he is a member of Governor's Council, submitted a detailed statistic details in 1913 to prove that Brahmins, who only formed 3% of the total population of Madras, cornered most of the other opportunities. Like only the 3% were Brahmins, and the rest 97% were non-Brahmins, and the total opportunities were given to the 3%, and the rest 97% people were left restless. And the next important thing is Justice Party. Okay, the Justice Party is actually a political party in Madras Presidency of British India. It was established in 1917 by T.M. Nair, P. Tyagaraja Chetty, uh, P. Ramaya Ningar, who was also called as Raja of Panangal, and Dr. C. Nadesi Mudaliar. This was the first backward class mobilization which created a lot of social changes and political empowerment in that place. Their main aim was the welfare of non-Brahmins, because Brahmin were totally dominating non-Brahmins, and this before this there were precautions like in 1912 it was referred as Madras United League, and it was later changed into Madras Dravidian Association in November 1912, and later on in 1916 it was changed as South Indian Liberal Federation. There were a Tamil newspaper called as Dravidian, and which was edited by Bhakta Vachalam Pillai, and it was started in June 1917. The party also purchased the Telugu newspaper called as Andhra Prakashika, and it was edited by A.C. Parthasarathi Naidu. There were an English newspaper called as Justice, which was started by the party itself, but it was before the change of Justice Party. Because of this newspaper was so popular, and which it included all the political details, like purpose, it was only for the purpose of politics. Later it turned out to be the name of the party as Justice Party. The main key objective of this Justice Party was outlined and stated in two pamphlets, which was named as Namadu Kurikol and Thiruvitta Kalaka Latium. These were the two pamphlets which included their key objectives. The political ideology of Justice Party was it opposed Brahmins in civil services and politics, and this anti-Brahmin attitude shaped many of their ideas and politics. It also opposed Annie Besant and her home rule movement, because it believed that it would benefit Brahmins. They were like totally opposing all the Brahmin favoring systems. The party also campaigned against the non-cooperation movement in the presidency. It was at odds with Mahatma Gandhi also, because primarily to his prize was Brahmanism. And by petitioning the imperial administration, which was more than willing to oblige, they got reservations for non-Brahmins to the Government of India Act of 1919. The attitude of Justice Party gave it a pre-colonial tinge. It did not send any representatives to the Central Legislative Assembly, and after it won the provincial elections under the Government of India Act of 1919, because of the ideological tropes of anti-Hindi and anti-Aryan ideologies. The main achievement of Justice Party is they gave restrictions to various communities in government jobs and legislations that allowed Dalits to use the public spaces without any discrimination. Temple entries to non-Brahmins were also allowed. Marriages without Brahmin priest, and increased acceptance of intercaste marriages called as self-respect marriages. The abolition of Devadasi system also was the greatest advantage of Justice Party. The party also allowed women to contest elections, paving way for Dr. Muthulakshmi, people like Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy to become the first women legislator in India. It initiated the biggest midday meal scheme also. But later on the movement started to decline, because it was like the abuse of power and corruption, and the image of Justice Party as an organization of rich landlords and western educated upper class Norman Brahmin intellectuals of Tamil Nadu and Telugu country contributed to the extent of its downfall. The Dalit of this region were not given any due representation, and the rising popularity of the Congress Party under the effective leadership of C. Rajagopalachari lost in electoral politics in 1926 to Swaraj Party. And the important leader of this period was E.V. Ramasamy, who was called as Thandai Periyar commonly. He was the one who born in 1879 in Erode. His full name was Erode Venkatappa Nayakar Ramasamy. The important thing of this the important thing in this period was in 1904 he travelled to Kasi and he saw the discrimination between the Brahmins and non-Brahmin caste. And in 1917 he was associated himself with the Madras Presidency Association as one of its vice president, which had the motto as communal representation and demanded representation of non-Brahmins. Later on in 1918, Periyar was the municipality chairman of Erode, and at the same time Rajaji was the municipality chairman of Salem. At this period, both Periyar and Rajaji became close friends. And in 1919, when Periyar joined Congress with Rajaji's help, he resigned nearly 29 public posts which he was already in. In 1921, he quoted for picketing toddy shops in Erode. It gained a momentum by his wife Rajamal and sister Kannamal. He almost destroyed all the coconut trees in his farm in Tatampatti. In 1921, he became the secretary of Madras State Congress Committee, and in 1923, he became the president of the same Madras State Congress Committee. The main thing was like the self-respect movement was founded by this EVR in 1925 with the aim of achieving a society where backward sections have equal human rights and encouraging backward sections to have self-respect also. The main ideas of the self-respect was propagated through Tamil weekly called as Kudiyarasu. Periyar wrote several articles on women's rights and on atheism and against some caste system also. He represented alternative political traditions in the age when the Indian National Congress was attempting to establish a unitary deal of nationalism against colonialism. Periyar's movement was based on the ideals of self-respect and social empowerment, which was like deep faith in rationalism and critic attitude, the vigorous criticism on all religion, and deep faith in atheism, which is like no god, dismantling of Brahmin hegemony, which he considered the worst enemy of individual self-respect, revitalizing, like giving a new life to the Dravidian languages, which include Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Tamil, etc., which have a great antiquity and separate identity when compared to the other Sanskrit languages of North. He also participated in Vaikam Satyagraha of 1924, which is a mass movement to demand that lower class people to be given the right to use the public path in front of the famous Vaikam temple. There was also the abolition of existing caste system, religious practices by which he advocated intercaste and self-respect marriages without the need of Brahmin priest also. The equality with no stress on economic and social equality formed the central theme of self-respect movement, and it was due to Periyar's determination to fight the inequalities. He argued that women needed to be independent and not marry the child bearers alone, and he also insisted that the women are allowed to have an equal share in employment. He said that women can have birth control, which is like it is a freedom that women possess. The self-respect movement also sanctioned properties as well as diverse rights for women. He appealed to give up the caste suffix in their names and not to mention a caste. He instituted inter-dining with food cooked by Dalits even in the public conference in 1930s, and he aimed for every human being to act according to a reason and shall not be subjected to be slavery of any kind or manner. A sense of pride and valorization of Dravidians and Tamil antiquity. Periyar also propagated the positive identity of non-Brahmins as a member of Dravidian nation, entitled to sovereign independence from the Indian union and strengthened an exclusionary regional nationalism. Next important thing is anti-Hindi agitation. In 1937, Rajagopalachari became the premier and he won the election, and he introduced the ban on liquor, which is like introduced total prohibition on liquor. He abolished zamindari system. He introduced legislations removing restrictions on temple entry for the depressed classes. He introduced in Hindi as a compulsory language in schools, which provoked the admirers also of self-respect and Tamil nationalists like Mariamma Adigal to organize an anti-Hindi movements in 1937. Thousands of agitators like E.V. Ramasamy quoted arrest, and a number of agitators died in the prison also. The important conference that took place in 1944 was Salem Conference. This was under the leadership of Periyar. A historic resolution was moved to change the name of Justice Party to Dravida Kalagam. This was the place where Justice Party was renamed as Dravida Kalagam. Many was asking Periyar actually to join politics as CM, but he often refuses that because he already had an idea of running a political party. So Periyar organized a Dravida Nadu conference, and he demanded an independent homeland for Dravidians, as they say Dravida Nadu for Dravidians. Apart from this separate Dravida Nadu demand, the Dravida Kalagam was also established for casteless society, condemned religious rituals, traditional superstition in Dravida society also. Dravida Kalagam became very famous in many rural areas because and especially among students. Many non-Brahmin leaders and students have changed their name reflecting on Tamil identity because of this Dravida Kalagam. According to the article 13 and according to the article 313, Hindi was made as the official language of Indian Union on January 26, 1965. In order to protest this decision of the Union government, the Dravida Munnetra Kalagam decided to observe this day as day of mourning. Many leaders of the party and its cadre was arrested, and Tamil Nadu has witnessed a large scale of anti-Hindi agitation. Because of the agitation, the cause secured considerable amount of support among the student community. On the other hand, Congress party lost its base and its support in state of Tamil Nadu. Meanwhile, Dravida Munnetra Kalagam had withdrawn the demand of Dravida Nadu also, and they continued to actively participate in the politics of Tamil Nadu and became a ruling party in the state also. The Dravidian movement during Second World War and after. Second World War period was 1939 to 45. In 1939, the Congress party which came into authority according to the 1935 Act of India, and this protested the government's declaration involving India in the Second World War, which led to the resignation of Congress ministry. In 1937, Justice Party was lost to Congress, and so that at that time Congress was in the rule, and later on they resigned their ministry also. In 1947, Periyar married Maniamma, which was not liked by Annadurai. So Annadurai wants to start another party which was called as Dravida Munnetra Kalagam, which was started in 1949. And in 1951, a Supreme Court struck down communal reservations in higher education. So immediately, Periyar launched a major agitation for the restoration of communal reservation, and consequently, the first Constitutional Amendment Act was passed in Parliament in forms of reservation for socially and educationally backward classes. Post-independence role. In 1949, DMK was formed by some of the ambitious followers of Periyar under the leadership of C.N. Annadurai. Unlike Periyar, this group had a great deep-seated political ambitions. So now the Dravida Munnetra Kalagam and Dravida Kalagam movement started initially as a protest against the domination of Brahmins in Tamil Nadu, was given a new dimension after India's independence when the attack was directly against the alleged dominance of North India. So the main demand of DMK was DMK is Dravida Munnetra Kalagam. So their main demand was establishment of separate Dravida Nadu consisting of 4 southern states. The passing of this 16th Constitutional Amendment in 1962, which made the advocacy of secession a crime and made DMK change its constitution and drop the demand of secession. So they gave up the idea of separate Dravida Nadu. Efforts by the Tamil Indian government to make Hindi as a sole official language after 1965 were not accepted to many non-Hindi Indian states who wanted a continuing use of English. So DMK, a descendant of DMK, led to the opposition of Hindi. To allay their fears, PM Jawaharlal Nehru enacted the Official Languages Act in 1963 to ensure that continuing use of English beyond 1965. The Official Languages Act was eventually amended in 1967 by the Congress government, and it was headed by Indira Gandhi to guarantee the indefinite use of Hindi and English as their official language. So the conclusion is like the self-respect movement asked many questions like, is political freedom a true freedom? Will it lead to an equal society? Will it allow for women to be treated with dignity and all? The sad truth is that we do not have the answers to these questions till today. It is now the responsibility of the educated and enlightened youth of the nation to take responsibility to eradicate social evils and fulfill the ideals of self-respect movement. And this is all about the Dravidian movement, and thanks for watching.